name's Brandon Archer. I'm from the state of Montana. I've been in Yekaterinburg for... The first time I came here was about 6 years ago, and I've taught English here on and off. And right now I'm actually a student at University studying Russian language.
Thank you. And in your opinion, what difficulties for foreigners connecting with the trip to Russia?
I would say it's not extremely difficult, but the visa process takes about, it depends. You can pay more and have it done faster, but it can take anywhere from 3 weeks to about a month and a half. And it can cost anywhere from about $100 to about $500, depending on how you do it. But not extremely difficult. You just pay money, get a visa, buy a plane ticket.
How did you get into the game about Falklands?
Actually, I have a friend of mine who I met when I was teaching, and he told me about the game, and he played in it, and he described it to me, and I said, wow, that sounds pretty interesting. And I told him the next time they have something, he got to invite me, so he did.
This was your first game?
That was actually the first time I had ever seen strike ball. I knew about strike ball a little bit, but like I said, I've been outside of the United States for a lot of years, and when I went back to the United States about 2 years ago, well actually about 4 years ago, I noticed in stores they were selling what looked like real guns, but they said airsoft, and I thought they were just like more for just playing for kids. I didn't realize it was such an organized game, but I remember thinking that the guns are, the guns that I saw at the game, the Kalashnikovs and the M16s, they actually sell those guns in my state of Montana, the real guns. And having seen both, held both, used both, I can't really see a difference. The only difference in the guns they use in airsoft is the metal seems to be a little thinner. But the wood, the weight, it's so real. It's scary, really, because I see all these people with what looks to me like real guns. And, yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you. And tell us your impressions about the beginning of the game and about explosions.
Right. The beginning of the game for me was just kind of arriving there at the camp. And so what was really surprising is seeing so many people in real combat gear. I mean, everything is real. People buy the real equipment, the same stuff you'd buy if you were an American soldier or a German soldier. And they had different groups with different country affiliations, which was interesting. So it was just surprising to see so many people with, to my eyes, real equipment. So I get this sense like, okay, my mind's telling me this is real, these are real soldiers, these are real guns. But this guy's telling me this is a game, so it was a bit strange in that sense. But the very beginning was really cool. The two boats coming in, they were shooting some kind of cannon, they had a tank and a Hummer, and it was pretty impressive, actually. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. Yeah, the location is great.
Have you ever seen a real Abrams tank?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever seen an Abrams tank. I know here they have parades and they're all close to by, but it's not, I don't think there's probably any parades where you're going to see an Abrams tank. In fact, I've never even seen a parade that has tanks in it, but sometimes you'll see tanks in museums, but I think all the tanks I've seen were older tanks, so the Abrams I've only seen it on television.
And how do you assess the severity of tank that was built by a group?
Yeah, when I saw the tank, I saw it from a distance, and I was just shocked because I thought, oh my God, they have a tank. Like, how is this possible? So I can say from a distance, the tank looked absolutely real. When I got up closer, it was obvious that the metal was thin. You could see the welds. It was definitely not an Abrams tank, but the shape, the size, I think it was, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the real thing up close, but I would say that the dimensions were absolutely correct. And for me, it looked close enough to real that, yeah, I thought it was pretty impressive. And I actually, when I saw it, I had to climb underneath it because I wanted to know, does it have a large motor? What is the setup? And what it looked like underneath is the tracks seem to be real tracks. It was a real tank, so that was cool. It may not be a real Abraham, but that was a real tank. It actually runs on track, so pretty cool. Yeah, pretty impressive.
And which game events have you participated and were any memorable moments?
I'd say overall the whole thing was pretty memorable. When I started, it was kind of a strange situation because the game started, in my opinion, a bit late. I don't think it started until 5 o'clock in the evening. And the guy I was with, we decided, we didn't know where to go. We were with this group, we were with this group. And some friends of his said, well, why don't you just go shoot the meat. So we went to go shoot the people coming out of the boats. And when I went down there, I actually thought, well, this is going to be easy. And I wasn't really protecting myself, and I got shot right away from the boat. And I didn't really know what to do because I knew I was supposed to go somewhere because I'm dead. So I just walked off and asked some people, and I found the place where dead people are supposed to go, but I left my friend behind. And I thought, well, he'll die and I'll see him in the tent later. Well, it started raining really hard at that moment. So I was glad to be dead in the dead tent. And looking out of the tent, seeing everything was wet. And what happened was he got soaked. He got completely drenched with water and went back to his car thinking I was wet. And then he was just waiting for me in the car. And at that point, I met some friends of his that were there. And they just kind of were like, okay, you're with us. And we started doing different missions, activities. And I got lost in the game. And when I finally, it was about 1 in the morning when I actually left the game because I got killed, and I got to his car and I looked at the time and it was 1. I said, it's 1? I'm sorry, man, I just lost track of time. So pretty fun. The last moment of the game for me was I went out with a group we were gonna go capture some building. And there was nobody there, so we captured it very easy. On the way back, we got ambushed. Everybody I was with got killed except for one guy, and I kind of moved with him until we got close to another group of people. He got killed. In the end, I had one of the grenades from the game, but I didn't really know how to use it. So after shooting one person, I think about 25 people started shooting at me, and that was the end of the game for me. Pretty exciting to be in a situation at night with other people, and pretty cool.
How did Russian airsoft players meet you?
What was the reaction when they found out I was American? A lot of people were actually surprised, and I'd say people were really excited. When they met me and realized I was from the United States, they said, "Oh, now we've got an international game." So it was kind of great because as one person, I made the whole game international. I don't know how many people there were. It seems like there must have been 5,000 people, maybe 500 people, 1,000 people. I'm not sure. But being the one American, it made it international. So people were pretty excited. A lot of people wanted to meet me. And right away, people were like, "Okay, you're going with our group, or you stay with me." So it was pretty cool. And also, it was interesting. Was like at one point, I ended up with a group of what seemed to be American soldiers because they had the American flag, and that was absolutely surreal. Because I'm walking around with this gun, and it feels real, and they've got real guns. I see the American flag. And the strangest thing was everyone was speaking Russian. So my brain was like, okay, I'm with Americans. They're speaking Russian. This is a game, it's real. So it was, for my mind, I think it was too much to even comprehend. I think most of the game I just was pretty quiet with just the idea of, okay, don't get shot and shoot people. So, pretty cool. Yeah, everybody was pretty excited to meet me, and everybody was really friendly. And the other thing I can say about the players in the game was, I think there's a strong sense of safety for other players. I remember, somebody was somewhere, and they removed their glasses, and they weren't even anywhere real near the game. They were more towards the tent where you're supposed to be dead. And a lot of other players were like, put your glasses back on, just, worried for the safety of the person's eyes. So that was cool. I really felt that something, worst case scenario, somebody gets injured or something, it's going to be, people are there to make sure you're going to be okay. So, yeah, I didn't get a sense that people were aggressive or angry. Everyone was friendly, helpful, so pretty cool.
organizing group combat invited to the game with the players from different countries, including USA and countries from Europe. And one of the main reasons why foreign players have not arrived is terms of safety about locating foreign players among Russian airsoft players.
Safety in terms of like possible injury, like if someone gets hurt in the game, you mean?
Maybe.
You mean the sense that they feel like if they come to the game, people are gonna start a fight with them or something?
Yes.
Okay. I can say from my experiences that I can't imagine that happening. I really think if anyone started a fight in the camp, I think it would be stopped. And I can tell all the people I came across, the people I saw. The one thing I said when I finished the game, I said to other people, I said, to me it looks so real. I've never been in war, but I've seen it on television. And it looked like the real thing, except for two things were different. The sound, I've heard guns, there's no sound of the guns. And the other thing is the people's faces. People were smiling, people were happy. So I would say the general mood. There were a lot of people who were more serious because they were into the game. But I never got the sense that anyone had any feelings of animosity or anger, and I don't think it would matter if you came from the United States or Germany or any other country. I don't think you would feel like uncomfortable being among Russians. And I think the exact opposite. I can speak from my experiences in this area, Yekaterinburg, because there aren't very many foreign people here. I've never had a bad reaction. I tell people I'm from Montana, I tell people from the United States, and then most of the time people say, "Oh wow, like, can I take my picture with you?" It's like being a celebrity, basically. So I think if anybody has any fear that maybe they'll be discriminated against because they're from this country or that country, I think there's absolutely no reason to worry about that. I don't think, here's another thing, if a player were to come from the United States, for example, I know if we watch the news, we see a lot of, problems between the two countries now, but I can say for the players, I don't know where Airsoft was from. I think it might have started in the United States. I don't know.
Airsoft, да.
It's from Japan?
Yes.
Okay, I thought maybe it was from the United States. But the point being is I saw people using the American style equipment with the American uniforms. So I think for the players that are involved, for them what's interesting is the real life technology. So if you're from Germany and Germany has a kind of gun that seems really cool, then I might use the German. Oh, you're an actual German. That's cool too. So I don't think it's there's absolutely no reason to think that you're going to come to Russia and feel any animosity, or everybody's going to be very glad that you came. When I was there, like I said, being the one foreign person, everybody was excited, and it made the game more interesting for other people. So realistically, the opposite is true. You're going to come and you're going to feel like everybody really thinks you're special because you came. So yeah, definitely no reason not to come except for maybe money and time. That's always, something that slows people down.
Thank you very much.
Well, I just want to say, if you're thinking about coming out to the Urals to play strike ball, airsoft, I strongly recommend it. You won't regret it. It's a great city, Yekaterinburg. It's a great area. You'll meet a lot of friendly people and you have a good time.